Hello everybody, hope everybody's doing well, and thank you for watching. So I just want to share with you a few projects that I made and I've been working with in the last few weeks. So everything started with this little envelope here. It is a Halloween little pocket. This pocket was sent to me by Cathy, Creative Crafts, and more. I will link down her channel down below in case you don't know who she is. You can go over and show her some crafty love. So about 2 years ago, I was part of a swap that Cathy and Tree were hosting, and it was the Christmas in July. After the swap was over, a few months later, Cathy sent me this in appreciation for entering their swap. And as some of you might know already, I don't celebrate Halloween, but that doesn't mean that you can't send me anything that is Halloween related. I will not throw it away. I will keep it for inspiration. And that's exactly what happened with this pocket from Cathy. So as I was cleaning and moving things around in the craft room, organizing stuff, I came across her Happy Mail that she had sent me, and I saw the pocket and I'm like, you know what, I really like this pocket. Like, I wonder what dye it is, because it does have a stitching all around, so you can tell it's a dye. So Cathy, if you're watching this, if you could please let us know if you remember where you got this dye from. But I really like this dye, so it inspired me to go into my dyes and look for something that I could use to do a little pocket. So let me show you. So my first instinct was to go into my Anna Griffin dies, because her dies are pretty big, and that would be a pretty good size for the pocket. So let me show you. So I did find a die set, and these are the ornate concentric cut and embossed dies. So this is what the set looks like, and the one that I used is this one, because since I wanted a box, I needed something that was more a rectangle shape, had more straight lines. And this one, as you can see, it's a little bit like fancier. It has more curves, and even though it's a beautiful die set, this is what I needed to make the pocket. And as you guys might know, it does come with ideas on how to do your cards. But let me show you the die set. So this is the die set. It is roughly, let me tell you, it is 5 across and almost 7 down. So it is a pretty big die. It has 4 pieces to this die. Oops, I didn't really clean it. All right, so here is the outline, like the first layer, and then here is the second one, and you keep layering them. And then here is this beautiful frame that, as you know, frames are in trend right now to make embellishments. So I could use that in the future to make frame embellishments. And then it has this little oval that can also be used on its own to make tiny little oval embellishments. And I might use that in the future. And then here is my pocket. So like I said, I use these die sets. For my pocket, I only use these 2 right here, but I did end up using the rest for other projects that I'll be sharing with you in a minute. All right, guys, so here is my little pocket that I made. It's an Easter theme. I went ahead and added an eyelet, and I added a few dangles in here. I used some Easter paper from Hobby Lobby, and then some stickers that I had from 2 years ago, maybe, not sure. I did add some flat backs on the eggs, and then I made it into a shaker. My husband fixed my sewing machine, so now I'm able to make shakers. And I added this butterfly that I think this butterfly was gifted to me by Tree from Tree Craft On. So that's what it looks like, and it's just blank on the outside. It's just you know, a pink solid color. So I really like how it turned out. I also did an accordion on the sides so it could expand, and I could add, you know, the goodies that I want to send out. So this is what my pocket looks like. So it's always nice to receive mail from other crafters, because then you get inspired, and that's why I like going over what they, you know, what friends might have gifted me, and, you know, use that as an inspiration or just different techniques, you know. So that is the little pocket that I created. And then let me show you what else I did. Okay, so I used this die here, and I used this to make a memory dex card. Hold on, guys.
This is
Hold on. I had my computer on and I pressed play. It was on pause. This is what my memory dex card looks like. I already had these bowls from maybe like a year ago. I like to make big quantities of like die cutting out certain embellishments, especially bows, butterflies, and flowers, which are the ones that I use the most all the time. I add those three things. Those are a must-have for me in my stash to craft with. And I am running low on my butterflies and flowers. So I have to, this is why I ended up using these butterflies that Tree gifted me, because I really don't like using what people gift me, but I ran out of my butterflies. So it's like, okay, I gotta move on to these butterflies that Tree gifted me, you know. Eventually I will use some. I mean, I'm just starting to use some of the things that people have given me, just because I'm like, why do I need to save them? You know, I mean, I do need to end up using them eventually. So there is that. So I turned that into a shaker as well. So I really like how that turned out. And I put a lot of little flatbacks, the flatback stickers from Dollar Tree. And then I added this wooden piece. This is a wooden ornament from Temu. I put a little bow to cover the hole. You know, those wooden ornaments have a little hole. And then I just added a wooden egg that somebody had gifted me as well. And then some acrylic flowers down here. And then I just made a cluster of flowers, the paper roses. And guys, if you have a die like this that is not meant for a memory dex card, what I always like doing is, if you already have a memory dex card die, go ahead and use that and cut it out like you always do, and then just layer your piece over it. Just don't cover the little holes, you know. And then just go ahead and glue it over it, and then just decorate it to your liking. That is my trick on using any type of metal die to make a memory dex card. Just use a simple memory dex card die that you might have in your stash, and layer it with what you have or what you want to use as a memory dex card. So I really like how this little shaker turned out. I wish I would have had more time to use this just to make embellishments on their own, or the oval one, but I did not. But maybe I'll use that later on in the future, and if I do, I'll show you guys. All right, so since I had my die set already out, you guys know I like to use it in different ways, which is why I ended up making the memory dex card. I also did use it as it was meant to be, to make cards. I did make 4 cards only. I like how they turned out. But I only made 4 just because I do want to use some other dies to continue making Easter cards. And on this one, I just added a little bow from Temu. These little butterflies are from a die from Temu as well, and I love that die. I just ordered it not that long ago, and it's a little die. It's not that big, and when you pass it through your machine, it cuts about 11 little butterflies, different sizes at once. So that is great, because you don't have to do, I used to hate those dies that you had like one tiny little butterfly, and like to pass it, I was like, I'm too lazy to do that. But this die, the way they're making dies nowadays, it's like one whole piece, and it cuts out more than one of whatever it is. So I like that. I like how they're doing that with the die. So that is one. This die of the butterflies is that type of die. And this butterfly here is one of the biggest. And those are really tiny. They're like 1 inch or less. And this is like the tiniest one. So this is the biggest. And then all the other butterflies are smaller, or, you know, between this size. They range from this side, between this one and this one. Like I said, this is the largest one. So they are so cute. I really love that die. And it was very inexpensive. It was like 112, 120, like no more than 125. And I really loved it because you get to cut out lots of little butterflies at once. And it's great for paper scraps because it's a small die. And what else I was going to say? And yeah, I really like those butterflies for adding to embellishments, to any type of projects, because I do like to add butterflies almost to all my projects during the spring or just whenever. And then these little cute little bunnies here are also from Temu. It was a small die that was also like 120, like those very cheap dies, and it had 3 little bunnies. And I wasn't sure because, you know, I mean, but I really liked them. I like the size. Like I said, you can add those to your different types of embellishments. And then here is the second card. Same thing. I added a bow, the butterflies, flowers that I have made, and I'm running low. And then these leaves that you see around, I used that. I also, it's also from an Anna Griffin metal die. So this is what it looks like. It's a pretty long piece. This one is about 4 inches long. And what I like doing with these, I like to pass it through the machine and then cut it out into 2 pieces or 3 pieces. That's why I like her dies, because they're pretty, you know, big. But then I cut it down into 3 pieces, and that gives me enough like for 1 card. So that's what I like. And then here's the other one. I really like how this pattern paper looks in the back. I went ahead and did the bunnies like in different colors. And the flowers that I use, these are my flowers that I made. This is a store-bought. And I just put a Happy Easter sentiment in the center. So these cards do have all 4 of the layers. And then here is the last, this little butterfly came off. All right, I'll have to put that back. I'll have to glue that on. All right, so here is the last card. I really liked how using the pattern paper looks compared to the ones that kind of don't have a pattern paper. So that was the way that I liked it the most, with the pattern paper. And then on this one, I just used a different paper bow that I had in my stash. I wanted to see how it looked with that, but I did like the ribbon better. I mean, I feel like both ways looks good, but I prefer the ribbon one over the paper one. So that's what that one looks like. And then, like I said, I like to make as many projects as I can with my dies. I ended up making this little mini album for my grandbaby. She's going to be presented at church. And she's going to be presented on Easter Day at church. So I wanted to make her a little mini album so my daughter can put a few pictures in there for her. When I showed it to my daughter, she was like, oh, I love it. Like, I want one. And I'm the type of crafter. I don't know about you guys, but let me know. Do you guys like to make the same project over? Or do you guys like change a few things here and there? Because I personally do not like to make the same project again. Like if I was to make this mini album, I might change a few things, not make it exactly the same, because I don't know. I just don't. Either the paper has to change, the embellishments have to change. Like, it can't be the same. It can be similar, but not like the same. So I told her she could just keep it. I'm like, you can just keep it, because I really don't want to make another one, to be honest with you. But I might. You know how moms are with their kids. It's like, okay, whatever you want. If I can do it for you, I will. So you know. Oh, and I ended up using this tool that I won from Diana Loves Colors. It's so beautiful. I love it. So I did start playing with it. So I added some in here. And then I really like how it turned out. I didn't put anything in the center because once my daughter prints out the pictures, I want to kind of have a picture of my grandbaby, just her, like her face, or, you know, and put it here in the oval. So for the cover, I only used these two pieces here. These two plus the frame, which is in the middle. And I added this little bow and then the little butterflies that I am obsessed with. I really like that die. So all of my projects are gonna, you guys are gonna probably get tired of seeing those little butterflies everywhere. And I really liked it in that gold cardstock paper that I have. I don't know where I got this cardstock paper, but it was just like a single sheet that I found. I don't know where I grabbed it from, but I love the sparkles on it. And I like how it cuts so smooth. And then it holds 12 pictures. I don't think she needs more than 12 pictures. I mean, it's just her presentation at church, and it's an Easter day, so maybe just a few pictures. I think 12 is more than enough. So I did use like lots of papers that I had. Like I used mainly a lot from the paper pad that I had shared before. And then I made some where the print is going like this. That way you can put like a picture, and then you can put one sideways. And that's what I did. And I used a lot of the papers from that paper pad because I kind of want to use it up, or at least use most of it. So see, you can put a picture this way and then this way. And that is the back. I didn't do anything on the back. I didn't embellish the inside just because once she prints out the pictures, I will take them from her and I will finish the album for her, and then I'll put my embellishments, which is why I used rings, just because I know how dimensional I can be when it comes to embellishments. And in case, you know, obviously it's gonna be thicker once I put the pictures and the dimensional embellishments, as I like to add a lot of dimension to my projects. So I know, and plus if she wanted me to put extra pages, let's say she has more than 12 pictures, I can easily open the rings and add more pages for her if needed. I hope not, but you know, since she does want me to make her an album, you know, I most likely I will end up making it for her. She knows she can, you know, and I'll just ask her what colors, or is it like what theme does she want. Maybe I can do her the bee theme. I remember, guys, during my Echo Park haul, I purchased a bee paper collection. Yeah, that's what I'm going to surprise her with for Mother's Day. It's her first Mother's Day, so I'll make her the mini album, but with the bee theme, and then I'll share it with you guys. All right, guys, so these were all my projects that I made using this Anna Griffin die set, and it all started with Cathy's inspiration, and I ended up making more projects because I like to use my die sets in different ways. So tell me which project was your favorite if you had one. If not, that's okay. I really don't have a favorite one, but I think I'm gonna go with the mini album, and then maybe the shaker, and then the little pocket. So in that order, and then the cards, of course. But I hope you guys like this sharing of the projects that I made in the last few weeks. It does take me some time to do projects, you know, as much as I try to do them as fast as I can to get it over with and then move on to something different. I have so many projects in my mind that I would like to do, but, you know, it does take time, and I usually get to craft either in the evenings for a little bit or on the weekends, but, you know. All right, guys. Well, I hope you like this video. I hope you like my sharings. Please let me know. Do you like to do the same project over, or do you switch it up a little bit, or what? And which one was, if you had a favorite project, which one was it? All right, guys. Well, have a blessed day, and thank you for watching. Till next time. Bye-bye.